Okay. All right. So let's breathe. Let's take the first couple of minutes and really connect to our breath. We all know there's a lot going on around us. It's impacting, our lives and people that we know. And so what we're going to do is hopefully use this practice, right? This is like, my goodness, if there was ever a time when, at least in, I think in our lives, when this practice could be like a, a life saving practice, at least maybe emotionally or mentally, it's now. So really kind of coming into feeling where energy is, being like, okay, I'm like holding my shoulders up all day long in this fight or flight mode, right? And that isn't necessarily serving us. It might be protecting our emotional center for a bit, but ultimately it's going to be leaking energy and we're going to be tired at the end of the day, even more tired. So it's like finding out, being really quiet, right, as we sort of do our scans and see how we're holding on to things in certain areas and letting it go so that we have more energy to be able to show up how we want to show up, right? And make take actions or make decisions from a very clear, centered, rooted mentality and emotional center. So let's start with 3-part breath. So one hand on the lower abdomen, one hand on the chest, and let's just be quiet for a moment, right? And just start to slow the breath down. Just like a wave coming into the shore and then retreating back into the collective ocean. And each moment, each thought comes in and then retreats. Right? If that wave comes in and it doesn't retreat, and another one comes in and then another one comes in, we're in trouble, right? In the same respect as that wave retreats, if we don't have another wave of water coming through, we're also not in a great state. So this sort of pulling in, what do we need from this moment? What do we need from this information? And then exhaling, okay, now there's space for another wave to come in. Just let that wave wash over you from head to toe. Okay, and then drop the arms down. And now let's gently start activating, right? We get oxygenated, bring our attention to this moment, and then we start to activate. Think of this as like the warm up. If someone's going to be playing a recital, right? They do a little warm up beforehand, kind of get things flowing, get things supple, release the tension so that things, when they do play, right, things are in a relaxed state so that their creativity, right, and their authentic energy can come through. It's hard to do that if we're tight and grippy. And then let's come up below the collarbone. And then all the way up to the top of the shoulders. This point, gallbladder 21. It's fantastic, obviously, because it's in the shoulders and where we keep a lot of tension and stress at that point. It's really great for clear decision making. So if you're in a position at some point where you need to make, whether it's a small or a big decision, maybe do a little qigong, knock across this point, right? Because it helps essentially to release tension so that we have more energy going to our brain. We can think more clearly. And then come back down below the collarbone. And then back down to the waist. And then let's go into water waves. Just imagine any of that tension that we might be holding on to is melting down the arms, through the hands, out the fingertips. Starting to feel where you are in space. Doing a check-in emotionally. And then let's start to unwind, slow down. And I'd like to do spinal cord breathing with one sound. And that sound would be the sound of the kidneys, the water. So that's that CHOOO. It's winter still, it's cold, we're supposed to get another snowstorm. And there's a lot of fear, right? We have a lot of, a lot of us have a lot of fear right now. So let's kind of go in and remember we can shore up our will, our fortitude, and be peaceful internally at that same time, right? That's the whole premise of qigong. It's this slow and flow in tai chi, slow and flowing movements. But man, from a very powerful centered um, way of being. So what did I just say? Oh yeah, spinal cord breathing. So inhale, let's bring the hands up by the face. And then on the exhale, let's let that sound come out. And then nice slow inhale, really focusing on opening the front of the spine on the inhale and the back of the spine on the exhale. And this is also a reminder that fear is it's not a bad emotion. It's what keeps us from entering dangerous circumstances, right? It's connected to that survival instinct. Right? But if we're sort of constantly in that sort of survival mode and we're not balancing it with things that help kind of bring us into homeostasis, then constant levels of heightened cortisol and adrenaline, it really does impede all of the functioning internally. So we're just using this breath to soothe like a big aloe plant, right? Think of the soothing nature of aloe. We're using the breath to just soften and soothe the nervous system so we can come out of that fight or flight and into our bodies, into our energy that's grounded. Because in this moment right now, hopefully, right, our life is not in danger right now, right where you are in this moment where you're standing. There's no imminent danger in your immediate surroundings. But sometimes we need to remind our bodies of that, remind our minds of that. I keep forgetting to do so. Hopefully, you're still doing that. as I sit here and talk. Let's do one more. Let the arms drop down. All right. So I think doing a little bit of clearing with the pump, I think would be really great. It's great for your lower back and your legs, and to get some more energy circulating and to release. Let's start with the arms above our heads, and yeah, let's do tiger. So we're gonna, on the exhale, we're just going to slowly bend the knees, only come down as far as feels comfortable for you towards the earth. And then you're gonna roll gently and slowly coming all the way up, kind of like you're clawing or dredging soil. And then exhale back to the earth. And then inhale. Pulling up, letting go. And last one. And as we come up, let's crisscross the forearms as we inhale, and then separate with a little growl on the exhale. It's okay to be fierce, right? Like we can be tranquil and peaceful and grounded, but very, very fierce. So as a reminder of that. So there's a really great, since we are in the year of the snake now, uh, I thought it'd be a good time to do snake sheds its skin as a way of kind of peeling away. Like we're ready to show up as a new state of being, maybe, and sort of shedding the skin, the old skin that's ready to come off of us. So we'll start. There's a few parts to this. So we'll go slowly, and we'll do it many times. So don't worry if you don't get it at first. So we start with the palms facing up. Your feet are together, by the way. So they're close together. And the hands are in a prayer position, fingers facing up to start. Take a nice inhale. And as we exhale, just point your fingers down towards the earth. And then the back of the fingers come together as we inhale up. Okay, and now we start to separate the hands. And as we do, gently press your glutes together, right? Because you're going to come into a little, very, very gentle back bend as the arms come out. And you're going to take a big scoop forward, like you're pulling all this goodness in, pull it into your heart. And then you're going to inhale as we push it into our lower bellies, right? All this positivity. And as we do that, what we can imagine is happening is that any of the stuff that's stagnation comes to the surface, right? So as we do that, whatever comes up, we want to let that go to the earth. So then the back of the hands come together, and then just imagine you're exhaling that all to the earth. And then the back of the hands come together as we roll up. And then one more big, we'll call it a big bear hug coming in. And that's it. So we'll go through that many times. So we'll start in an inhale, and then exhale, the fingers dip down. And then the back of the fingers come together as we inhale up, and then open the hands as we do a very gentle back bend. You're inhaling, just imagine you're inhaling golden light, and then you're inhaling it all the way down to the lower abdomen. And then what comes up, you want to inhale and then let it roll towards the earth. And then the back of the hands come together as we roll up, and then one more open armed, drawing in. And again, inhale, and then exhale, fingers down, then inhale, we come up, and then open the arms, big hug pulling in. So inhale, and then exhale. Now we inhale, we want to get rid of the stuff that has come up to the surface to be composted to the earth. And then back of the hands come together as we roll up and open the arms. One last, I like calling it a hug, back to the center. And again, the fingers down towards the belly and then up and then open. Big hug pulling in. And then we're just pulling that right into the lower abdomen. And then we want to roll forward into the earth, all of the stuff that's come back to the surface that we want to get rid of. And then back of the hands together. And then back around to the center. And again, exhale. And then inhale. Open the arms. Inhaling. Exhaling. And then we inhale, all that stuff coming up, exhaling it towards the earth. Back of the hands come together as we roll up, and then one last big circle. And then exhale, inhale, open the arms. We're inhaling, and then exhaling down, inhaling, letting everything spill to the earth. All the residual stuff that we don't want to hold on to, and then inhale and then circle around. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, exhale, back of the fingers together. Inhale, open, big hug, drawing in into the lower abdomen. And the stuff that comes to the surface, we want to exhale forward towards the earth. And then we have all of this beautiful space in our heart center now for positivity. Okay, so I know there's a few parts to that, but I do like the metaphor or the imagery of sort of shaking and getting rid of some of the skin that was very useful, but is no longer serving us. Okay, let's just do a little Dao Yin before we go into shaking and our flows. So let's start with the feet are still together. Let's clasp the fingers, except for the index finger. And then we're going to inhale and stretch up like a big arrow towards the earth. And then on the exhale, keep the index fingers pointed. And then you're going to clasp or basket your hands, cradling your back of the skull, as we bend the knees and come towards the earth. So your elbows come down a little bit, like you're making yourself into a little ball. And then we inhale, almost like a spring, and then extend the hands back up. So we'll do that a couple of times. So on the exhale, the back of the hands come to the hands come to the back of the head as we exhale down. And then inhale, we straighten back up on the inhale. So we're sort of pumping our legs, right? And then we stretch the back as we reach towards the earth, reach towards the sky. Exhale. And inhale. And then one more time. Exhale. Inhale. Now on the next exhale, just let the arms come all the way down. We're going to gently bend forward with bent knees towards the earth. Let's just pause here for a moment. Get a nice stretch into the lower back, the upper back, and the hamstrings. And then we're going to clasp the hands again. So make a little basket with your hands. And then we're going to slowly roll up and keep your hands clasped. Just flip them so the palms face out and then up towards the ceiling. And then come to the balls of your feet. So the kidney one, they call it raise the bubbling spring. So we're stretching up and we're also pressing down through the feet. And then you can exhale, bring your heels back down, but keeping your arms up. And then we're going to gently stretch over to the left. So press through that right foot so you can maybe feel a little extra stretch through the sides of the body. And then don't forget to breathe. And then inhale to the center and then exhale over to the right, pressing through the left foot. So Dao Yin, it's got even more of a flavor of yoga, but it's really about, we're really stretching the meridians, the channels here, the lines of energy. This is the gallbladder and liver channel that we're stretching here. And then inhale back to the center. Now exhale the arms down to about shoulder height, maybe a little bit below. Press the palms away. And then let your head tilt over to the left. And then just a gentle roll to the back of the shoulder and the front of the shoulder. And then over to the opposite side. This is the meridian stretch for the heart, pericardium channels. I can really feel this, especially with the wrist flexed like this through the stretch through the middle finger, which is the pericardium channel. And then let the arms drop down and shake everything out. Now let's just go right into shaking. And let's start to slow down. Okay, so let's start with open the flow, because what I'd like to do is go into Kuan Yin paints the rainbow, because it's a lovely flow. And it also helps us work the right and left brain. So we'll start with basic open the flow. So let the arms be nice and relaxed. And on the inhale, the arms just float up to shoulder height. And then on the exhale, your arms float back down. Inhale and exhale. Maybe there's a particular word that you want to meditate on. And as we float up, whatever feels soothing to you, maybe inhale lightness or inhale peace. Whatever, if you'd like to use that little word mantra, whatever is soothing to you. a reminder, the antidote to chaos and hate and vitriol, right, is joy and peace and connection. You might need a bridge between that, right? There are certain other emotions that can facilitate change, but internally, if we can create this resonance of joy, there is a vibration that we put out there, and it invisibly, right? You don't even have to try, and other people feel it. Okay, so what vibration do you want other people to start absorbing from you? They say our heart, the energetic or electromagnetism, I believe, of the heart can be measured like something like 16 feet away from us. And we each have a unique frequency, almost like a fingerprint. So just think about how many people come into that 16-foot radius or circumference throughout the day. And then we're from here, let's go into single arm. So we're going to drop the arms down now. Just inhale the right arm up and then down. And now the left up and down. Nice and slowly. We're just working one arm at a time. And imagine right now, if we're on the left side, that as we inhale, our entire left side of the body is filled up with this golden light. And then as we inhale the right, that golden light starts to spill over and fill up the right side. So we're creating a balance within the body. We're balancing yin and yang, filling ourselves up one side and then the other. Now, as we come to the right, we're going to inhale the arm all the way up and then bring the arm behind you. And as we do, the arm comes down the back, bend your knees slightly. Now, as we inhale in front, the right arm is still facing up, the left arm is facing down as we go into the final movement. Now that right arm faces down as we exhale. Sorry, sometimes the right and left doing the mirror is not always that easy. Now the left arm, we inhale up, exhale behind you as we bend the knees. So as we come up, what I'm trying to say here is one palm is up, one palm is down, and then we turn that left hand down and we exhale. Now inhale the right and slowly exhale. Both float up and then turn that hand facing down as we exhale. So Kuan Yin paints the rainbow, and it really is about the full spectrum of who you are. All of the colors, all of the frequencies, who you are, who the people around you are. They have their full spectrum, right? And celebrating that. The full expression of who you are. And the power that you have. Right? We have all of these frequencies. And part of this work is also kind of being the person at the dial. You're saying, okay, I'm kind of feeling I'm operating at this frequency, and that doesn't necessarily feel great, or that's not really how I want to feel right now. So I'm just going to turn that dial, right? Whatever that means for you. But filling ourselves up with all of the colors of that spectrum, all of those frequencies, and celebrating everyone else's full spectrum. And let's do one more. Inhale, exhale, and then let's go into our chi ball for a moment. Maybe all of those colors are now in this beautiful chi ball in front of you, swirling around. Maybe it's one color, maybe it's no color, maybe it's golden. But that is representing all of you, your full energetic, physical, emotional selves. Okay, and I think I'd like to go into, we've done Zen circles before, but we are going to add in a movement to kind of separate that Zen circle into yin and yang. So the symbol that we know, right? The black looks like a little fish with a white dot, and the white with the black dot. That's a representation of um, how things are constantly changing. Nothing is absolute. Yin is not always yin. It morphs into yang and vice versa. So let's start with the palms facing up. And we'll start with your right arm. It's going to turn slightly to the left, and I'm going to start making these nice big circles. We'll start just with the right arm. So we inhale and then exhale. Inhale. So this is the Zen circle. The circle represents the Tao, the Tao, right? The field of potential, the space. I'm going to inhale and then exhale down. And then inhale. So this is the perimeter, right, of this potential. We're going to start to create chi, right? Chi is a manifestation of what happens when we have these opposites, yin and yang, right? They cause this dynamic. So at the top of the circle, just imagine that you're going to start tracing that center line that divides the black and the white until you come to the very bottom of the circle, and then we'll go all the way around a full circle, and then we'll stop at the top again. And just imagine that you're just tracing the line in the center to represent, from this field of potentiality, we we get yin and yang. And from yin and yang, we get the five elements. And then from the five elements, we get basically everything. The 10,000 things they say in Chinese medicine. So we're just paying attention to the space. And then tracing the lines of yin and yang. And then we'll do one full circle, one more, carving the inside, and then let's go into both arms. We're just going to start tracing that circle before we go into the opposite arm. Just imagine that you have this gigantic Tai Chi symbol, and we're just working ourselves around it, feeling it swirl like a gigantic billiard ball. Right, of this massive field of possibility of energy. And let's come back down and let's do the opposite side. So now it should be your left arm. I'm going to inhale across the body, up and then down. So let's just start with creating this field that represents this idea of we're all in this part of this collective, this field. And now let's go to the very top. And then we start making our little yin and yang symbol inside that circle. And tracing the whole circle again before we trace that inside line. And the concept that things are always changing. That's the only constant, is that change is inevitable. There's always this interchanging energy. Just at the apex of yang, it turns to yin. And at the apex of yin, it turns to yang. And there's that little dot of each within the other. And then let's go into using both of our arms to trace around that whole field. And as energy condenses, right, we have a sort of physical manifestation. But again, it's just like ice and vapor and water. They're all H2O. It's just a different energetic representation. It's just constantly morphing from one to the other. And then it's kind of bring that ball in, condense it down so that we have a little, but very, very powerful and condensed ball of energy right in front of our lower abdomen. And let's just let it pulse. And then let's bring the feet together and let's conclude with centering. So let's start with the palms facing up and then inhale the right arm out to the side, right above the center crown of the head, and then exhale all the way back down. And then inhale the left. And exhale. Remembering that we can always use these techniques whenever we need them to regain our center, to have a pause and recalibrate. Remember our power. Have clear thought of how you want to act. And then just show up as your authentic selves. Let's do one more. Inhale. And then exhale the hands back to the lower abdomen. We give it a little rub, storing all of that light and peace and strength and calmness and will right into your little bank account here, or big bank account. And let's just pause here one last moment. One last big exhalation. And then when you're ready, you can crack your eyes open. Thank you, everyone. I'm so happy I get to share this with you and that you show up, because it makes my life infinitely more joyful. Yes, Carrie.
Monday. I couldn't see how to sign up for it, but I want to come. Is there really enough space?
Oh yeah. The tutu school is like, she has like, children running around in the day. So I think there's a lot of space.
Okay.
The children aren't going to be there for the
Right,
class, but it's a big space. I'll sign you up. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
If anyone else wants me to sign them up and you're having problems, let me know. There's a schedule list. I'm using there's a link on my Instagram in the bio, but if you need me just to sign you up, I have no problem doing that. So Carrie, I'll do that for you.
I sent a link from your website to two people who I think one of them is definitely interested. I haven't talked to the other one yet. So
Okay, well, thanks, Cynthia. Thanks for spreading that. And yeah, I hope you have a great weekend. And I will see you on Monday, potentially. And then next Friday, we'll have this class again.
Thank you.
thank you.
All right, take care. Bye.